Hi! Today I want to talk about spring cleaning. And you might say, spring cleaning, what does that have to do with spirituality? Well, let me tell you, it has a lot to do with our spirituality or our spiritual walks. And here's why. We always think of spring as a time of renewal, and it's when we see our beautiful earth begin to blossom from the dormant winter, and the flowers begin to bloom and the leaves begin to bud on the trees as spring further progresses and rolls into summer. Well, even though we're not a plant or a tree or nature in that way, we humans also go through various seasons in our lives. And today I wanted to talk about why it's important for us to spring clean, literally our environments, but also within our minds, in our soul, and in our spirit. So, first off, let's get to the basics. When it comes to our environments, the more pleasant and the more we feel good about where we reside, the higher our energetic vibration automatically lifts. So, some of us, and don't get me wrong, there is no judgment here. I'm not here to judge anyone and how anyone likes to live. But for example, let's say someone isn't necessarily the neatest person and you like to leave things, wherever it's convenient. You don't like to put things away, and you find that there's clutter all around. Well, more often than not, that clutter also appears in your mind with your thoughts running rampantly. So you can begin to clear out your environment first, because if you've ever tried to clear out the thoughts from your mind when they're going a mile a minute, you know it's easier said than done. It's so much easier to clean up your space. So I encourage you to start with that. And it doesn't have to be go overboard and exhaust yourself and do the whole place that you live in, whether it doesn't matter what size it is. But I do encourage you to start with the space that you spend the most time in. Because when you're in there, and if you feel good in it, you're going to want to it'll motivate you to do other spaces in your home. And when you do this, you'll notice your mood may lighten, may lift. You may feel happier because you feel good once you see things picked up. Whether we like to do it or not, trust me, I'm not one that likes to clean every single day. So I know that for myself, it'll get to a point where I feel so much better once I vacuum, for example, because vacuuming is not my most favorite thing to do. But when I'm done, oh, it looks so much better and I feel better in my home. So spring cleaning, literally, your place. Start small, and then once you're in that environment, notice how you feel. And if you don't feel great right afterwards because you're tired, exhausted from scrubbing the floors or whatever, the toilets, and I'm kidding, but you know what I mean. The next day, see how you're feeling. And when you notice your mood to lighten, that's when I want you to begin the next step, which is spring cleaning your thoughts. First off, if you write it down, you have pen and paper handy, that's great, because you can have a thought, but it becomes more powerful when you write it down. So set an intention for what you want to manifest. And it could be one thing, it could be small, it could be medium size, it could be large, it could be multiple things. But for the sake of this practice, I would not put more than 3 things. And write down what you really want, what you would want to flower, so to speak. So once you know what those things are, or thing, write it down. And then say a prayer, set the intention. And whether you talk to God, I talk to God as God, my Father, my Creator, my Source. I talk and pray to the Archangels and to Yeshua and Holy Spirit. So whatever it is that you communicate with and to, that is love, unconditional love, say the prayer out loud and say, with an earnest heart, how thankful you are for whatever you're thankful for. And then state that you want to create the things that you wrote on the paper. And the terms that you use do not matter. You can use the term manifest, you can use the word create, or you can just simply say, I want this, or I want more of that. There is no quote unquote right or wrong way to do this. It's all right when you're doing it from a place of sincerity. And then you let it go. And the more gratitude you have on a day-to-day basis, you'll find the quicker that you'll start seeing things fall into alignment. Spring cleaning our literal spaces is great. But when we spring clean our thoughts and set the intention, let's say you want to not be so distracted in life and become more mindful. These are priceless gifts. That's one of the things that I'm so thankful for. And I'm still progressing further and further, whereas my thoughts don't control my life anymore. And it is life altering to a degree that I cannot explain unless you've experienced it yourself. And that's it. You don't have to choose things that I just mentioned, but whatever it is, whether it's material or immaterial, you get to choose and you get to have fun with it and spring clean for yourself.